Next, what is counseling? Counseling is defined as a professional activity of helping individuals, groups, or communities enhance or restore their capacity for physiological, emotional, and social functioning, and creating an environment favorable for the attainment of this goal. Ang counseling ay isang proseso ng pagtulong sa mga kalahok na harapin ang kanilang mga problema, pag-uugali at emosyon. Gaya ng maunawaan ang kanilang mga problema at pag-uugali, pagkaroon ng positibong pagbabago sa kanilang mga saloobin at pag-uugali, and maging mas responsible at produktibong miyembro ng lipunan. Sa TCMP, ang counseling ay isinasagawa sa iba't ibang paraan, tulad ng individual na counseling, isang session sa pagitan ng counselor at kalahok. Kadua, group counseling, mga session ng counseling kasama ang mga grupo ng kalahok. Komunidad-based counseling, mga aktibidad at diskusyon na naglalayong palakasin ang komunidad at suporta sa mga kalahok. Ang counseling sa TCMP ay naglalayong matulungan ang mga kalahok na magkaroon ng positibong pagbabago at pag-unlad at maging produktibong miyembro ng lipunan. Next, skills and characteristics of counseling. According to the BJMP Therapeutic Community Model Program, the skills and characteristics of counseling used on TCMP are: number 1, empathy. This refers to the ability to perceive the client's feelings and to demonstrate accurate perception of the client. It is putting oneself in the client's shoes. When the client feels understood, a sense of trust or rapport is developed. Rapport paves the way to a more meaningful communication and may enable the client to understand and accept more of his or her complexity of feelings. Ang empathy ay may kakayahang maunawaan ang damdamin ng isang tao ay napakahalaga. Ang pagpapakita ng empathy ay nagpapalakas ng tiwala at nagbibigay ng ligtas na espasyo para sa kliyente na makapagbahagi ng kanyang mga nararamdaman. Ang pagiging sensitibo at maunawain ay kailangan upang mabuo ang isang malakas na relasyon sa pagitan ng counselor at kliyente. Number 2, warmth. It is also known as unconditional positive regard. It is involved accepting and caring about the client as a person, regardless of any evaluation or prejudice on the client's behavior or thoughts. It is most often conveyed through our nonverbal behavior or bodily gesture. Ang warmth, ang pagpapakita ng pag-aalaga at pagtanggap ay mahalaga sa pagbuo ng positibong relasyon. Ang pagiging bukas at handang makinig ay nagpapakita ng pagpapahalaga sa kliyente bilang isang tao. Ang pagiging mainit at mapagmahal ay nagbibigay ng ligtas na espasyo para sa kliyente na makapagbahagi ng kanyang mga karanasan. Number 3, respect. It refers to the belief in the client's ability to make appropriate decisions and deal appropriately with his or her life situation. with given a safe and supportive environment in which to do so. It is often shown best by not offering advice or cheap comfort. The counselor show his utmost respect to the client by listening in silence and giving him the opportunity to design his own solution to the problem. A similar term for this is empowerment, as the counselor likewise demonstrate that he values the integrity of the client. Ang respect ay paggalang sa kakayahan ng kliyente na gumawa ng sariling desisyon ay mahalaga. Ang pagbibigay ng suporta at pag-unawa ay nagpapalakas ng tiwala sa sarili ng kliyente. Ang pagiging magalang at hindi mapanghusga ay nagbibigay ng ligtas na espasyo para sa kliyente na makapagbahagi ng kanyang mga problema. Number 4, congruence. Congruence, also known as a genuine, it includes the act of being honest and authentic in dealing with the client. It is showing real concern rather than focusing on techniques during session. It is also being aware of the counselor's own unmet needs and how it may affect his relation with the client. Congruence ay pagiging tapat at tunay na pakikitungo sa kliyente ay mahalaga. Ang pagiging aware sa sariling mga damdamin at asal ay nagbibigay daan sa pagiging epektibo ng counselor. Ang pagiging tunay ay nagpapalakas ng tiwala at nagbibigay ng mas malalim na koneksyon sa pagitan ng counselor at kliyente. Number 5, confidentiality. It means that any discussed during counseling session is held absolutely private and not to be discussed anywhere. This contract should be held sacred so as to maintain the client trust and enable him to disclose sensitive matters to the counselor without fear of any breach of confidentiality. Ang confidentiality ay pagpapanatili ng privacy at pagtitiwala ay nagpakahalaga. Ang pagiging sigurado na ang mga impormasyon ay mananatiling pribado ay nagbibigay ng ligtas na espasyo para sa kliyente na makapagbahagi ng sensitibong mga impormasyon. Ito ay isang fundamentals na aspect ng isang epektibong relasyon sa pagitan ng counselor at kliyente. Sa pangkalahatan, ang 5 kasanayan ay katangiang ito ay mahalaga para sa isang epektibong counseling. Ang pagiging empatiko, mainit, magalang, tunay at mapagkakatiwalaan ay nagbibigay ng ligtas at suportadong kapaligiran para sa kliyente na makapagproseso ng kanyang mga problema at makapagsimulang gumaling. Gayunpaman, mahalagang tandaan na may mga sitwasyon kung saan kailangan masira ang confidentiality, tulad ng mga kaso ng pagmamaltrato sa bata o pagbabanta sa sarili o sa iba. Next topic is the types of group and therapeutic community. Static group. Number 1. The static group is a permanent group of peers and leaders that meet regularly while the residents are in treatment. It is a short of home group who provides support for one another and to the new members of the community. This is designed to provide a forum for self-expression and disclosure. It is usually facilitated by senior member of the group. It focuses on group relation and pattern behavior. It is done 1 hour once a week. It involves 10 to 15 residents and a counselor. Static group, nakikita ko ang static group bilang isang pundasyon ng suporta at pagkakaisa. Ang pagiging permanente nito at ang regular na pagtitipon ay nagbibigay ng isang ligtas na espasyo para sa mga residente na magbahagi ng kanilang mga karanasan at damdamin. Ang paggabay ng isang counselor ay nagsisiguro na ang mga talakayan ay nakadirekta patungo sa positibong pagbabago. Ang sistematikong proseso ng pag-uusap na binanggit sa teksto ay isang epektibong paraan upang matulungan ang mga residente na maproseso ang kanilang mga isyu at matutunan ang mga bagong paraan ng pag-iisip at pag-uugali. Ang pagtuon sa here and now ay mahalaga upang maiwasan ang pagkadismaya sa nakaraan at mag-focus sa kasalukuyang pag-unlad. Next, procedure for static group. Here at the procedure in conducting static group, BGMP, TCMP. Once a resident enters the jail, she is assigned to a particular static group. It serves as a permanent group that address the general issue and treatment. Number 2, it utilizes confrontation from peers to evoke changes in behavior to the group is primarily supportive. The group provides immediate support to new member of the community. Number 3, each resident member is encouraged in expressing and disclosing personal issue and concern and receive feedback from the other members. Violence and threat of violence are prohibited. Number 4, for each session, the group may discuss any topic of desire or may follow certain themes for a more systematic flow of discussion. Number 5, by using confrontation, identification, support affirmation, and giving feedback, residents learn and practice the TC norms and values. Number 6, the residents are oriented to new and positive copying style which they can utilize to live a new lifestyle and attain personal growth and better relationship. Number 7, when their emotional needs and problems are properly addressed, their positive behaviors and attitudes emerge and they will eventually feel better about themselves. Number 8, focuses on the issue of the here and now person. Disclosure of the past is allowed if it affects the present. Confidentiality is strictly observed. Number 9, the static group does away with negative socialization and employs positive resocialization through a caring relationship with peers. Procedure, this procedure is next, peer confrontation group. The participants in peer confrontation group are selected by the staff and group according to peers. Like adult members will go with the W, same date of entry in the facility, and same goes with the middle and M young members. It is done in a more compassionate way where each resident tries to help one others. Participants confront each other on to what they do per themselves while in the facility and as how they are coping with it. It is done 1 or twice a month and involves 10 to 15 residents and coordinators. Peers confrontation group ay tila mas direktang pagharap sa mga problema. Ang pagpili ng mga miyembro na may parehong panahong pagpasok ay nagbibigay ng isang kumong karanasan at nagpapadali sa pag-unawa. Ang mas mapagkakawanggawa na paraan ng paghaharap ay nagpapakita ng pag-aalaga at suporta na nagpapagaan ng direktang nagpapagaan sa potensyal na negatibong epekto ng direktang pagharap. Ang pagtatanong kung paano sila nakakayanan ay nagpapakita ng pag-aalala at nagnanais na makatulong. Ang kombinasyon ng static group at peer confrontation group ay isang epektibong diskarte sa rehabilitation. Ang static group ay nagbibigay ng pundasyon ng suporta at nagkakaisa, samantalang ang peer confrontation group ay nagbibigay ng hamon at pagkakataon para sa direktang paglutas ng problema. Ang balanse ng suporta at hamon ay mahalaga upang matulungan ang mga residente na magkaroon ng positibong pagbabago sa kanilang buhay. Gayunpaman, mahalaga na ang mga facilitator ay may sapat na pagsasanay upang gabayan ang mga pagpupulong at matiyak ang isang ligtas at produktibong kapaligiran para sa lahat ng mga kalahok. Ang pagiging sensitibo sa mga pangangailangan ng bawat residente ay kailangan upang makamit ang pinakamabuting resulta. Next, procedure for peer confrontation group. Here are the procedure in conducting peer confrontation group. Number 1, participants will sit in a circle position. 2, staff may sit just outside the circle or there may be no staff. 3, there is no particular order of speaking. It is conventional and freewheeling. 4, participants may start with a prayer. 5, participants may then say, "What do you say about me?" or "Please give me feedback on my progress here," or "How do you see me?" 6, any of other participants may give an honest, straightforward feedback. Tone and feeling should be proportionate to the issue. 7, peer confrontation is done in a compassionate way where each resident tries to help one another and identify certain issue which should be a hindrance to his recovery. 8. At the end of sharing, the resident is asked to make a commitment about an issue that he feels uncomfortable dealing with. Next, the encounter group. The encounter group serve as a safety valve within the community, which is usually highly pressured and structured. It is a forum for members of the community to verbally express pent-up or negative emotions within a structured and safe environment without resorting to violence or aggression, and without fear of reprisal. The primary goals of an encounter group is to raise awareness of behaviors and explore the underlying feelings that lead to such negative emotions. It is done one-to-one and 1-2 hours once or twice a week, and involves a counselor, two co-facilitator, and 8-10 residents. The encounter group. Ang encounter group ay nagsisilbing isang safety valve para sa mga residente na nagbibigay ng ligtas na espasyo para sa pagpapahayag ng mga negatibong emosyon ng hindi na kailangan gumamit ng karahasan o agresibo na pag-uugali. Ang structured na paraan na pagpupulong na may gabay ng isang facilitator ay nagsisiguro na ang mga talakayan ay produktibo at nakadirekta patungo sa paglutas ng problema. Ang proseso ng pag-file ng slip ay nagbibigay ng isang paraan para sa mga residente na maayos na ipahayag ang kanilang mga alalahanin at makuha ang suporta na kailangan nila. Next topic is the 4 phase of encounter group. The 4 phase of encounter group is number 1, confrontation. This phase involves verbalization of concern or honest disclosure of emotions that has been provoked during interpersonal interaction with another resident. Regardless of the cathartic nature of expression, the role of the encounter group should always be respected. This phase consists mainly of exchange of verbal expression of emotion as a way of release. Number 2, exploration. In this phase, all the feelings that were expressed are further examined and explored and find out how it could have resulted in such a way to evoke awareness on the connection of behavior, feelings, and attitude. In this phase, blaming or finger pointing at one party is avoided. It will only cause resentment from one party. Number 3, resolution and commitment. After some realization and attaining some insight into their behaviors, the residents are now ready to move to the last phase to practice new behavior. From the feedback received, the resident involved will not express how he feels about the whole thing and may own up his behavior which has caused the conflict. He then goes on to make commitment to avoid such occurrence in the future. Such commitment made by the residents will be monitored to make sure that they are being put the practice to avoid. avoid lapse. Number 4, socialization. It is a structured social event where all those involved in an encounter will have sample time to mend fences with those they have offended or hurt in the past. The purpose is to achieve closure, reaffirm relationship, and maintaining the unity of the community so that all those involved can move on, leave the past behind. Ang apat na yugto ng counter group ay confrontation, exploration, resolution, and socialization. Resolution and commitment and socialization. Ay isang lohikal na proseso na nagbibigay daan sa mga residente na maunawaan ang kanilang mga emosyon, tuklasin ang mga ugat ng kanilang mga problema, at gumawa ng mga konkretong hakbang para sa pagbabago. Ang pagtuon sa pagpapahayag ng emosyon ng hindi naninisi ay isang mahalagang aspeto ng proseso na nagpapalakas ng tiwala at pagkakaisa sa loob ng grupo. Ang paggawa ng mga commitment ay isang mahalagang hakbang tungo sa positibong pagbabago, at ang pagsubaybay dito ay nagsisiguro na ang mga residente ay nagpapatuloy sa kanilang pag-unlad. Sa kabuuan, ang encounter group ay isang makabagong at epektibong paraan upang matulungan ang mga residente na maproseso ang kanilang mga emosyon at magkaroon ng positibong pagbabago sa kanilang pag-uugali. Ang pagiging structured at gabay ng isang bihasang facilitator ay nagsisiguro na ang proseso ay ligtas, produktibo, at nakadirekta patungo sa paggaling. Gayunpaman, mahalaga na matiyak na ang mga facilitator ay may sapat na pagsasanay at nakaranasan upang mahawakan ang mga sensitibong issue na maaring lumitaw sa loob ng grupo. Ang pagiging sensitibo sa mga pangangailangan ng bawat residente ay mahalaga upang makamit ang pinakamabuting resulta. Next, the extended group. The extended group marathon are usually composed of 5 to 12 residents and are facilitated by 2 highly trained staff members. It may last for 8 to 72 hours. The participants must have at least 4 months in the highly trained staff members. The participant must have at least 4 months in the program and have shown adequate stability before then they can be included in the activity. It is a potentially intimate and intense session which needs a significant amount of preparation. It focuses on the here and how, but allows a deeper exploration of issue that affects new behavior. Especially subject may be the focus such as sexuality, trauma, etc. Ang extended group, ito ay mga grupong ang mga grupong ito ay tila mas matindi at nangangailangan ng mas malaking paghahanda. Ang mas mahabang session at ang pagtutukoy sa mga partikular na issue ay nagpapahiwatig ng isang mas malalim na pagsusuri sa sarili at pagproseso ng mga karanasan. Ang pagiging here and now ay isang magandang estratehiya upang maiwasan ang pagkadismaya sa nakaraan at tumuon sa kasalukuyang pagbabago. Next, specialized group. The goals of specialized group are: number 1, to provide group support with the aim of resolving the problem and restoring healthy functioning of the resident who have concern issues. Number 2, to create a feeling of universality among residents who have similar issue or life experience. Number 3, to explore issues based on certain themes as a guide. Number 4, to provide a safe environment where residents can freely express their feelings and concerns. The client enhance coping skills and their ability to release inner feelings are indication of a good specialized group. Specialized group is ang pagkakaiba ng mga specialized group: women's group, men's group, education support group. Anger management ay isang malaking lakas ng programa. Ang pagtutok sa mga tiyak na pangangailangan ng bawat grupo ay nagbibigay ng mas epektibong suporta at paggabay. Next, women's group. It is done 1 hour once a week, might last for 6 sessions, and it involves 8 to 15 residents and a counselor. It provides an opportunity for all female residents to share and discuss their feelings on women issues, families, relationship, self-identity, self-image, societal role, and reproductive issue. Issues to be tackled are gender-specific problems and aims to help female residents identify their challenge and needs. Residents are helped to explore and understand the relationship between women's issues and their influence on them. It concern ang pagtutok sa mga isyong panlalaki ay mahalaga dahil ang mga babae ay may natatanging mga hamon at karanasan. Ang pagbibigay ng ligtas na espasyo para sa pagbabahagi at suporta ay nagpapalakas ng tiwala sa sarili at pagkakaisa. Next, men's group. It is held 1 hour once a week and involves 8 to 15 residents and a counselor. Topics include expression of feelings, reveal of true self, dealing with feelings, and how to avoid abusive relationship, family conflict, sexuality, and sexual relationship. Group session enable each of the client to identify, express the feeling related to the trauma and lessons learned from those experience. Ang men's group, katulad ng sa women's group, ang pagtutok sa mga isyong panlalaki ay mahalaga. Ang pag-address sa mga isyu ng pag-aabuso ng mga kasalungatang sa pamilya at sexualidad ay nagbibigay ng isang ligtas na espasyo para sa mga lalaki na maproseso ang kanilang mga karanasan. Next, medication support group. It involves residents on medications and jail health personnel. It is done as long as the residents are on medications. Counselors hold the group once a week who are on medical and psychiatric medication. Group members are educated on different kind of medical and psychiatric problems and effects, sharing on the intake of medicines and side effect of taking it. They also share and discuss how to face difficulties coping with the disease and problems encountered while they are on medication. Ang medication support group ay pagbibigay ng suporta sa mga taong gumagamit ng gamot ay mahalaga para sa mga matagumpay na rehabilitation. Ang pag-edukasyon sa mga gamot ay ang pagbabahagi ng karanasan ay nagbibigay ng suporta at pagkakaisa. Next, anger management. Anger management is a process that helps people identify stressors and help them to stay calm. In anger management for them to handle tense situation in a constructive and positive way. Good Therapy or 2018. In TCMP, it is done 14 hours for 6 weeks or as needed and is curriculum based. It usually involves 10 to 15 residents. It is facilitated how they demonstrate their anger before they came for treatment and while in the facility and how they go through it. Participants are selected based on interview and attitude show while in treatment. The group is an avenue for the resident to know their anger feelings and educate new knowledge. Ang anger management, pag-address sa issue ng galit ay mahalaga para sa pag-unlad ng mga residente. Ang pagtuturo ng mga estratehiya upang pamahalaan ang galit at nagbibigay ng mga kasanayang kailangan para sa isang mas malusog na buhay.